Good evening, everyone. I'm going to talk about online retail system. Online retail system is a platform that is used by the customers so that they can buy their desired product. This can be done through e-commerce or platforms like Amazon and Flipkart. In my project, I've used a lot of diagrams. The first diagram is called a use case diagram. This is a use case diagram. It is a simple diagram that is between the customer and the admin. The customer here can browse the product. He can add his favorite product to the cart. He can then check out. The customer can give payment details and the payment processing can be done. Once the customer buys the product, the customer can check for the product and his order. Then the admin is used to manage the cart and also can help the customer during customer support if the customer has any inquiries. Later, the customer can also log in and also review the products that he bought. This is another diagram called sequence diagram. In my sequence diagram, there are two scenarios, which is scenario 1 and scenario 2. In scenario 1, there is customer login, product selection, and check processes. Basically, in this scenario, the customer buys a product. So here in this diagram, there are four entities called customer, system, payment, and warehouse. So a customer browses a product, that information has gone to the system. Once the system receives the information, it displays the bill of that product. After that, the system sends the payment details to the payment gateway. Once that is done, the payment is processed and the money is given to the warehouse. Once the warehouse receives the payment confirmation, the process is done. Then the system sends the order and shipping information of that product from the warehouse. Later, the final state, the warehouse sends or ships the product that the customer had bought directly to the customer. This is a sequence diagram of scenario 2. In this case, in this scenario, the customer is returning a product. So first, the customer selects the return item, which is the product that he bought, any product that he bought. If there are multiple products, the customer can select only one product, depending or the customer can select the number of products he wants to return. Then the system requests the return to the warehouse. After that, the customer ships the returned product to the system. The system then sends it to the warehouse. The warehouse receives the product and checks if that product is proper in a proper condition or not. Once the inspection of the product is done, and if the warehouse confirms that the product is in a proper condition, then the refund is confirmed and the customer gets his refund. This is another diagram called data flow diagram. This is level 0 data flow diagram. It is a really simple diagram that is again between the customer and the wearer. So here first the customer purchases the product and then payment process is done, that is given to the warehouse. The warehouse receives the payment and the order is shipped from the warehouse to the customer. The customer also receives the shipping and order confirmation. This is a level 1 diagram of the data flow diagram. It consists of 5 entities called customer, administration, payment gateway, supplies, and warehouse. So here administration is level 0.1, payment gateway is level 0.2, and supplies is level 0.3. The customer gives information to the administration. The administration then gives the payment details, etc., to the payment gateway. The payment gateway, once it receives the payment, it gives the information to supplies. The supplies is then given to the warehouse for the desired product that the customer wants to buy. This is the level 2 data flow diagram. This consists of 3 levels. So here the customer manages and lists the product that it needs to buy. That is in level 0.1.1 and 0.1.2. After that, in The customer validates the payment details, gives the payment example, like gives his payment uh like example like card number, etc. Then the payment is processed, and once the payment is received, the payment is confirmed, and that information is again given to the warehouse. Then the customer can see for order confirmation. The marketing system can also have and can also inquire the customer service if the customer has any inquiries, and also can contact the shipping company again. And all of this is connected to the warehouse. This is a system architecture. It is based on a data-centric diagram. So this online retail system consists of four entities called customer, admin, warehouse, and payment. So the customer can browse, select, and purchase any product. The admin is the user and the system that manages the online retail system. Then the payment details is given to the payment, and the order details is given to the warehouse. This is a state diagram. So in the state diagram, there are the two black dots indicate start and stop. The top at the top it is start, and at the bottom it is stop. So at the start, the customer can log in, browse the products. Once the product is selected by the customer can add that product to the cart. If the customer didn't like the product, he can again go back to browsing the product. So once the customer adds the product to the cart, he is given an option to check out. If the customer wishes to check out, the he or she can give the shipping information. If the customer does not proceed to check out, it again goes back to browsing products all from the scratch. But if the customer enters shipping information, the customer gets an option to select the payment methods. Payment methods can be example like Google, UPI or card, like credit card, debit card, etc. So once the payment is successful, the order is confirmed and it ends. But if the payment is not successful, the customer gets two options, either to retry payment or cancel order. If the customer gives an option for retry payment, it goes back to payment successful. But if the customer wishes to cancel the order, it goes back to checkout page. This is an activity diagram. So in this activity diagram, one second. Yeah. In this activity diagram, this also consists of two black dots, one for start and one for stop. So here, payment information is given by the customer. If the payment is successful, the order is confirmed. If the payment is not successful, the customer again has an option to either retry the payment or cancel order. If the customer chooses to retry the payment, it goes from the scratch, which is enter payment information. If the customer chooses to cancel order, then the order gets cancelled and the thing ends. But if the payment is successful, the order gets confirmed, the confirmation email is sent to the customer, then order processing begins and the products get shipped. This is a schedule and budget for this project. So for requirement analysis, it takes around 2 weeks and the budget is $30,000. The for design, the timeline is 6 weeks and it takes $10,000. The implementation is 12 weeks and it takes $78,000. Same way for testing, it takes 3 weeks and the budget is $6,000. For deployment, the timeline is 3 weeks and it takes $6,000. Thank you. This was my project.